welcome to Zatu. Today we're wandering through the New York Zoo, putting up enclosures, shoving some animals in there and hoping that they breed. Let's find out how to play New York Zoo. In New York Zoo, you are racing to fill your empty zoo with enclosures and animals by, on your turn, taking either an enclosure or a set of animals. When you fill an enclosure, you will swap all the animals in that enclosure for an attraction. So here you can see me double time fill up my enclosure. There's also a chance for animals to breed, but it really is as simple as that. In some ways, New York Zoo is another Tetrisy shapey game that doesn't do an awful lot different, but the things that it does do different are, I find, quite compelling. It's kind of a greatest hits of Use Rosenberg's Tetrisy games, not counting the massive Feast for Odin. But I really like, one thing that kind of stands out compared to other Tetrisy games like Baron Park, Isle of Cats, or even Uwe's older games, is you don't need to connect the pieces to each other. So I can put pieces anywhere on the board and then I'm racing to fill it up as well. And that's another nice thing as well. You're racing to fill it up and one of you will fill up the board. I just find that really, really cool. Your kind of question of spatial decisions isn't about what one do I join into this one next. It's about, okay, well that will make a good corner piece and I can work towards the middle and try and leave room. And you know you're not going to be left out in the you're not going to make any mistake that can't be fixed by taking those solo attractions, but you kind of don't want to take those until the last possible minute. I really like the decision of taking a enclosure or animals, and although there are some rules, faff and chaff around taking animals and placing extra animals and breeding, overall, once you've got it, it flows well and everyone seems to remember. The accounts for player count and for first player advantage are really great. Each board is numbered, double-sided with the player counts, and the first player will have some sort of disadvantage in that they have to fill in more space or they have less houses in their zoos depending on player count. That didn't seem to matter to my wife, who still won at a 3-player game, even though she only had 2 houses. The cute animals, I don't want to be harsh here, but I thought they would be more recognisable to the animals they are. They're a bit weird, they're a bit like these animals at funny angles, is how I felt, but that might just be me being harsh. I certainly didn't think they were cute. I thought they were kind of caricatures. Yeah, I can tell what they are. Some of them were closer than others, in my opinion. The kangaroo certainly looks like he's doing, I don't know, something like that. The gameplay is simple. You're choosing one or two things, and sometimes you don't even have that choice depending on what you've left. But as you play it more and more, you do think more about, do I want to start a new enclosure, or do I want to shove this into one of my houses so I can take that smaller enclosure around there? Smaller enclosures are easier to fill and therefore easier to transfer animals for attractions, but they don't take up so much room in your zoo, and the bigger attractions take up more room. And what I've found myself doing on occasion is taking bigger enclosures but just ignoring them and just using them to get me around to the smaller enclosures so I can put them in and fill those and just keep rotating those. With 2-3 players, there's a nice bonus rule where when you breed an animal, you can get a bonus animal into one of your enclosures if they already have an animal, and that really adds to the planning. I think it might make it my favourite at that count. It does go up to 5. I've not played it at 5. Have I played it at 4? I think 3 is the most due to COVID and all that. But I've played it with everyone from a 10-year-old up to small hardcore gamers, and we've all had a blast with it. In fact, what I would say is Baron Park's now gone from my collection. Not due to this on its own, I was already happy with Isle of Cats, but now I've got New York Zoo and Isle of Cats. That's my Tetrisy ones. I do have Feast for Odin as well, but that's my Tetrisy ones complete. Those are the two that I need to make me a happy boy. And yeah, I think replayability, it's not going to be a game you put on the table time and time again on one night. You'll play through it, but you would play it regularly at your game night. It's pleasing, it's satisfying, it's a race that doesn't feel like a pressured race. You kind of just filling in your zoo, you're manipulating the animals, the components are nice despite their looks. The player boards are a little thin and they are double-sided, so you want to be careful you don't put them down on any dirt or debris. The rules are a little finicky to get these ideas of when you get your bonus animals, but I think we've done it right, and it seemed to make sense, and it makes for a smooth game. Setup is surprisingly easy for a game with lots of where you're ordering out the Tetris pieces. Yeah, like it a lot. Think that a lot of people will get a lot of joy out of this one, especially if you've not played one of these games before. If you have played one of these games before and you're saying, is it better than this one, is it better than that one? I can't answer that for you. I can only say that for me, this is one of the top two because everything else has gone out of my collection. So that is New York Zoo. So that was New york Zoo. What's that, kangaroo? Oh yes, you can subscribe and like to our channel. Oh, Flamingo says, don't forget to hit the... I'm going to keep going. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Little Penguin says, we're also on Twitch and Instagram. Zatu Games. Go find us on social media. Thank you for putting up with me. Bye.